To this video. My name is Michelle, and you have been led here by Spirit, your ancestors, your guides, the universe, or even your higher self. I have been doing tarot and oracle readings for almost 10 years, and I'm super excited to share a message with you if you're finding this video. So, with that being said, I ask that you take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and also, if you find that you like my vibe here and you like the messages that you're getting from these readings, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to have you a part of my community. Here we go. Alright, so the topic that I'm feeling called to is I'm going to do a general reading, but I'm going to focus on a topic. And the topic I'm going to focus on, for some reason, as soon as I took these cards out of their box, I felt the need to talk about self-love. Fun self-love. I love this idea of having a certain topic, but keeping it general to whoever the collective is. So, I'm going to go ahead and see where this person or this group of people, where are they when it comes to self-love in the present moment? Where are they when it comes to self-love in the present moment? In the present moment. In the present moment, you have Two of Swords representing where you stand when it comes to self-love. And when I see this card of Two of Swords, I think of a crossroads. It's like, is it really worth it or is it not? And I feel like you're kind of making a decision of like, maybe it's time. It feels like maybe it's time. But you're kind of looking, the card is looking toward the past, even though she's blindfolded, right? She's blinded to the past, but she knows the past is there. So let's see what the challenge is. What is their challenge when it comes to self-love? What is their challenge when it comes to self-love? Don't know why it's a challenge, but it's a challenge. What is their challenge when it comes to self-love? That one. Okay, when it comes to self-love, your challenge is the choices. The choices, and also the fact that it has the Lovers card. So, and here's the thing. The Lovers card is about choices. But in this juncture and how I want to look at it, I keep saying juncture for some reason. So, interesting, that choice of word. But in this juncture of what I'm speaking and what I'm channeling is, I feel like the Lovers is coming out as a challenge of how you perceive or how you look at self-love, because a lot of people don't like thinking about self-love because they feel like it's selfish. Because I'm supposed to love everybody else. I'm supposed to love everybody else. And I feel like that's the challenge there, is you have so many people that you pour your love into. But I feel like sometimes you find it hard to pour that love back into yourself. And so that is your challenge, is that you need to make the choice to give yourself the love. What do they need to focus on when it comes to self-love? What do they need to focus on when it comes to self-love? When it comes to self-love. When it comes to self-love, you got the Nine of Swords as what you need to focus on when it comes to self-love. And when I look at the Nine of Swords, it doesn't look like it's a happy card. It really don't. She don't look happy. She looks anxious. She looks like she's a hot mess express. And I think that may be one of the many reasons why you have this struggle, is that now is the time for you to really focus on loving yourself for the good, bad, and the ugly. And right now, you may feel like a stress ball. You may feel like a stress ball in the present moment, especially seeking to the fact that you're blinded to what's going on around you. And you're holding the swords, right? Okay. So, with the Nine of Swords being there as a focus when it comes to self-love, is looking at all those things, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, and really choosing to love yourself through it. Love yourself through the anxiety. Love yourself through the depression. Talk kindly to yourself. Because when you're in that state, and I can talk about this because I get in that state a lot. I get in that state of depression or anxiety, and I really don't talk very nice to myself. And I think this is what we all need to focus on allowing yourself to feel the emotions that you're feeling, but also let yourself love yourself. Like, give yourself a hug or something. Like, allow yourself to really dive deep into those not so happies, and really love yourself through it, because there's only one person that can really love your shadows, and that's you. All right. Where did they come from when it comes to self-love in the past? Where were they in the past when it comes to self-love? When it comes to self-love, that one. I'm drawn to this one. When it comes to self-love in the past, the Empress card is coming up as a past thought of how you may have felt. And the Empress card is to me, the Empress card is the mother. She's nurturing. And what's kind of funny is I am wearing an Empress. Literally, I'm wearing an Empress on my shirt. So it's kind of interesting. You got the light and the dark. The light and the dark. So in the past, I feel like whomever I'm talking to, whether you're female or male or non-binary, it don't matter. It don't matter. I'm talking to whomever approaches this. You had a sensibility of knowing that you're confident and beautiful and handsome, or however you want to put this. And I feel like this self-love that you had was showing up for you when you were at your most creative, when you felt confident, because the yellows in that is solar plexus energy, and solar plexus is where you hold your power and standing fully in your power, and you feel protected there, because like I am looking at like the stuff that's around her, and I think those are pumpkins. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but those look like pumpkins to me at the bottom here, where my fingers are. And pumpkins are a part of protection. They could be squash too, but I take it as pumpkins. And I feel like it's looking at the fact that you are divinely protected. You're always divinely protected. But something happened from the past to the Two of Swords, because you're at a crossroads. Like, okay, so why are you at a crossroads with self-love? Maybe there's a lot of stuff that's been coming up for you where it is creating this anxiety, this tension, because I feel like, going back to what to focus on for a minute, because like I feel like what this is a past version of yourself that didn't really have that love or that nurturement from the Empress card. Because the Empress card, I look at the Empress card as a person that nurtures people, loves people. She's full of life. Like, she definitely is full of life. But this is a past version of you, focusing on a past version of you that didn't feel so loved, and focusing on loving her. And loving her for how much she's gone through to get you to where you're at now. And giving yourself grace. Literally giving yourself grace. But they wanted me to pop back to that. Alright, what is their strength when it comes to self-love? What is this person's strength when it comes to self-love? So exciting. I'm excited for you guys. I don't know why. Self-love. I'm going to go with this one. Your strength when it comes to self-love is the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. Because when it comes to self-love, I feel like for you, when it comes to self-love, I feel like you promote it to other people. I feel like you promote it. I feel like you tell people that they deserve it, because you know how it feels to be without it, without like love, or with, I think you look at it as love in general is love. Like I don't think you realize self-love is important, just as important as loving everyone else. And I feel like your strength is seeing how you've neglected yourself. Because I feel like you've poured so much of this into everybody else that, yes, your strength is kind of like messed up, right? You're like, Michelle, the strength of neglecting yourself, that's not a strength. That feels really terrible. And it can be. But the strength that's within it is when you look at it and you see, oh shoot, I've neglected myself. You have that self-awareness. Now you have that self-awareness that you have neglected yourself, because like I said, what to focus on is marching at your door and going, hey, I'm right here. I need your attention. I need your affection. We need to have a talk. And the cool thing about this is, even this card, look at that. I feel like that's one version of you. It's interesting. One version of you is reaching out to this version of you. But look at all the clouds. Look at all the clouds. So I feel like you're in a place where your strength is the fact that you are actually aware and identifying it. It's not necessarily a strength like, oh yeah, this is a big strength. It's just a strength that you're identifying that it needs to be done now. Like that it's been neglected. Okay. Where are they headed? Where are they headed when it comes to self-love? Where are they headed when it comes to self-love? They want me to pull that one. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is coming with the great sovereignty. I don't know why I felt this, like, great sovereignty. And, like, where you're headed with that self-love is you're heading, it's almost, so how I want to bring it up is it's like you're in that zone of, they want me to mention Cheetah Girls because the song that they're popping into my head is Cinderella, and how they say, I'm going to rescue myself. I'm going to rescue myself. And the Knight of Swords, you know, when you think about Cinderella and that song and how they talk about it, is like she would think about being a princess in distress and how a guy would save her, and it didn't feel right. That didn't feel right for her. So I feel like you're headed to a place where you're able to be that knight for yourself. Like, and I feel like the person or the version of yourself that you're needing to focus on is like when you were little, like when you were a little girl, or a little boy, depending on how this applies to you. And what is the suggested approach to this, adventure of venturing into self-love? Suggested approach. Your suggested approach is the Star card. The Star card represents a wish. And I have a lot of Disney references for this video. So another Disney reference that they're making is a dream is a wish your heart makes. And so I feel like you've always in your own way wanted to be saved from situations and circumstances when you were a kid, when you didn't feel even outwardly loved. So it's interesting is remembering you are the star. You are the wish that your heart made when you were a child. You are the star your heart. You're the star your heart made when you were a child. Interesting. So the wish. You're a wish that your heart made when you were a child. That's interesting. I like that. What do they need to know about self-love? What do they need to know about self-love? That one. That one and that one. So you have the it looks like the Eight of Wands and the Magician. So when it comes to self-love, I feel like you needed to know that you've always had the power to love yourself. And when you are able to love yourself, you're able to pull it up and be like full, like filling your cup, filling yourself up. And these things happen in a magical sense. Like, it feels like it happens in a magical sense. Because you are magical, you are divine, you are beautiful, and self-love, what you need to know is self-love is an internal thing. It's a part of, it's a part of your internal book, or your internal world. Because a lot of people say when you look within, all the stuff that you heal within yourself creates the world external to you. Like directly external. I don't mean that you like manifest everything like extra external. I feel like the extra external is the collective. And then the external outside of you, like in your environment, is what is reflecting what's going on the internal world. And it's not necessarily what's in here, it's what's in here. Anyways, what is their hopes when it comes to stepping into self-love? Or, well, what's their hopes and fears when it comes to stepping into self-love? I do feel like you have a fear around self-love being hokey. There's something about, I keep hearing hokey, it's hokey, or that it's painful because, like, something about, like, it pains someone else. Like, it feels like it pains someone else. But I feel like you hope that it helps you create something. But also, I feel like there's a fear of what you have to love, because there's a part of you that's really hurting, that's really hurt in the past. And sometimes, you know, the way I look at the Queen of Swords is I feel like sometimes the Queen of Swords has to be like, okay, it's time to cut this stuff off, and she is sovereign. She is sovereign, and she knows when it's okay to be herself. But there's also that pain in the background. And I feel like you fear the pain that will come up when you do love yourself, because sometimes there may be past wounds that come up that kind of try to get you to think the latter. Because the thing is it's kind of like the mirror effect, right? If you stood in front of the mirror and said, I love you, you would get every reason why you don't. And that's when you have to kind of reset yourself, count backwards from 5, and reset that before it comes in. Those mindsets come in, and just be like, I love you regardless of the good, bad, and ugly. And see how that works with you. See how that works with you. Something about like that. And I feel like you do fear what comes up, the pain that comes up from it. Because if I love myself, who am I gonna sacrifice to give love to myself? And you're not sacrificing anybody. You can love everybody, but you have to love yourself too. You deserve love too. Anyways, what is the outcome with this self-love? The outcome with the self-love is the 7 of Swords. And sometimes you do have to kind of let go of people and set boundaries. Because the 7 of Swords is like picking up the swords and let's go. Picking up your swords and let's go. And loving yourself may sound a lot like boundaries. Loving yourself may sound a lot like boundaries. So that was your reading. I really enjoyed this reading because I know it's going to reach whomever it needs to reach at this time. And I hope that you get what you need out of this and that it helps you in some way, shape, or form. If this did resonate with you, please comment down below. I would love to have a talk in my comments. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up button. And again, please subscribe if you really enjoyed my vibe. And I will see you next time. Much love to you. Have a wonderful day.